The Sinking of the Lisbon Maru, a documentary about a lesser-known World War II tragedy involving Japanese fascists and British prisoners of war, has highlighted the impact of war on British families and brought into light the courage and humanity of Chinese fishermen.
It was the forgotten war, and I think through this type of film, but not only here, the whole world to know what went on and how they suffered, for us to have freedom.
In October 1942, Lisbon Maru, a cargo vessel requisitioned by the Japanese army to carry more than 1,800 British prisoners of war from Hong Kong to Japan, was hit by the US Army off the Zhoushan Islands in China's Zhejiang province. Local fishermen risked their own lives and rescued over 300 prisoners of war. A special screening of the recently finished documentary was held in London last week. Some 400 relatives of the British prisoners of war on board the Lisbon Maru were invited to watch the film. Retired British soldier Brian Finch, who has been committed to collecting the historical documents on the Lisbon Maru, told Xinhua that the documentary exposed the cruelty of the Japanese soldiers and showed the incredible courage and humanity of the Chinese fishermen.
Well, I think it shows the worst of humanity and the best of humanity. That the cruelty of the soldiers who were guarding the prisoners and the incredible courage and humanity shown by the fishermen of Zhoushan, who rescued the prisoners of war, saved the lives of hundreds of them, in a pure spirit of humanity, nothing else.
Amanda Christian, whose grandfather went down with the Lisbon Maru, was moved to tears by the documentary and was happy that it's completed despite the setbacks caused by COVID-19 pandemic.
It should never have been kept underneath, it should have been spoke about years and years ago, I mean, my dad for years didn't actually know what actually happened on the Lisbon Maru, but this has made the world can see now. The world can see exactly what those men done, all of them.
In remarks delivered after the screening, Chinese ambassador to Britain Zheng Zeguang said that history must not be forgotten and called for a joint effort to carry forward the shared remembrance and turn it into a new linchpin for friendship between the Chinese and British people.
In the fight against fascism, China and the UK were allies, and the Lisbon Maru incident is one of the best examples of our two countries supporting each other in those difficult days.
Tony Benham, a British historian whose 2006 book, The Sinking of the Lisbon Maru, Britain's Forgotten Wartime Tragedy, laid the groundwork for the documentary. He said he was delighted with how the documentary turned out and succeeded in emphasizing the impact of war on families.
I think it's never been more important than it is at the moment for people from different countries to meet together and chat and understand that it doesn't really matter if you're born in London, you're born in Beijing, you're people. And that message should be hammered home every day, in my opinion, because actually there is no more important message if we really want to survive as a species of human beings in the world.
Morgana Warren-Jones, a 28-year-old musician whose great-uncle died in the Lisbon Maru tragedy, told Xinhua that she would spread the word about the documentary on social media and hopes to generate more discussion among the younger generation.
It's a very difficult world, but I think things like this film show that a world with peace is a much better world. Making good relationships with people from different cultures to build those bridges is a really important thing.